everybody? Wilson EUC, about ready to lift some weights on this weight bench. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a tire change. Myself preparing the tire, getting it ready to be put onto a rim. I'll show you how I do it, and it works pretty good. What you're gonna need is a tire. And I'm switching from the stock knobby tire on the veteran Patton to the Shinko 241 SR. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to need some baby powder, a bag, zip ties. They're sizable zip ties, let's just say that. About a foot. And the tube. 16 by 3. Get this at E-Wheels, or the valves do not have the caps. So it does kind of matter because you don't want to get baby powder inside that. And I just took the cap from the Patton tire and just put it on to protect the insides of the valve. And what I'm going to do is put this in the bag after I put some baby powder in it. And then I'm going to put the tube in the bag, just like so, and do a little shake and bake. It's shake and bake time, guys. Shake and bake. The purpose of this is so that the rubber doesn't grab onto the inside of the tire. And I'm going to put some baby powder inside the tire too, just a little bit. And what it does, it decreases friction inside to prevent it from kinking up inside and possibly causing a pinch. I'm going to put some baby powder inside. Just kind of guide the baby powder inside the tire around. You might have to do it a couple of times. Oops. Okay. So I think that looks fine. I don't know if you can see inside, guys. But we got some baby powder inside. We're going to slightly inflate it. I have my portable pump right here. Okay, so I got this to about 6 psi. That should be good enough. Alright, so what we're going to do is put the tire into the tube very gently. But with the tube slightly inflated now, it'll be easy to put inside the tire. Just so this tire can fit over the rim easily, we're going to put some zip ties over the tire and create a larger circumference around here, and it will pop on the rim very easily. I've done this a couple times already and it works great. For this, we're going to need probably 2 zip ties zip tied together, and we're going to just close the gap. And I don't know if you can see, but we're closing off the gap in here. So that way when we put this on the rim, there's a less of a chance for you popping the inner tube. So this is all prepped, ready to go. All right. So bought a couple new tools. I bought some magnetized hex bits. That's going to be very handy. And some hex T-keys set. So when we have to screw the screws back in, or need to be really gentle, we have these, and they're nice and long. You get enough leverage to screw it back in, so that's going to be very handy. We're going to get the top cover off. Okay, top cover is off and the screws stay right in, so I don't need to worry about that. Pretty straightforward. You know, you got this side over here, this side over there, this side over here, that side over there. So, and that's the fuse, right? That's the fuse. If you're ever confused, that's the fuse. Be gentle, because I don't want to make a mistake, you know what I mean? Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. And I'm going to drain the power. Here we go. H4. So Alright, this is Wilson in the editing room. And right here, this is just me taking off all the screws. There are tons of screws, mainly all H4 hex screws. These screws are the ones that are surrounding the front and rear lights and the handlebars. Now, both the handlebars and the kickstand frame, you just got to remove the screws on one side of each frame. And there's like a center screw, which is an H5. You just got to lightly untighten it, and you can rotate out the frame so you can remove the battery. Also, I removed the handle from the trolley handle. It's just two Phillips screws that are holding it together. Okay. This is where I'm kind of feel like I'm rushing, so I gotta kind of slow down. This is where mistakes happen. Getting too excited. Let's take a deep breath. That's right, and mistakes can happen. It's always good to take your time. Matter of fact, feel free to check out the full unedited teardown. I have 3 videos up of the unedited process of disassembling and reassembling the wheel. So check it out in the playlist for veteran Patton EUC tire change. Okay. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm taking off the H4 screws that are holding the left side battery, and you can access that from the top cover area. That's off. Ooh. Okay, so what we're doing right now is taking off the side battery screws. Okay. Just took it out. Pretty easy. It's pretty easy. It's not too bad. Got these little rubber gaskets up here. All right, so that's all set, and I'm gonna put this off to the side. Suspension. A RoboCop. Oh, I love that. Okay. Okay, and then we'll do a valve core removal in just a second. There we go. Valve core is out. Alright, so right here, this is where I ran into an issue. The valve stem had a hard time getting that out for some reason, so you might want to keep that in mind when you're doing a disassembly on your wheel. Closer together with spoons, start opposite side from valve. Okay. Thank you, George. I'm not happy with that paint coming off. Okay, so opposite side from valve. Alright, so we are in the process of doing our tire change. We are switching to a Shinko SR241, and we are swapping out from stock Navi on the veteran Patton. It was a bitch to take off. I think the tires are really thick and the rim is small, so it's really hard to, get the valve through the hole. For one, that was really hard. And even still, with me prepping it, I really had to put a lot of force and push onto the tire. I had to use some of this bull snot lubrication. It does a really good job. It's on the tire, guys, so we're going to do a few adjustments. And what I've noticed as well is this is metallic paint, I guess. It's paint. So I could probably just paint over this somehow, some way, all paint. If you're using the tire levers, this stuff will just peel right off easily, guys. So I'm just letting you know. We are now going to take off the rest of the zip ties. Zip ties were put on the tire to create circumference around the tire and to keep the tube inside. So once, when we were putting the tire on the rim, it really does provide less chance for that inner tube from pinching. Okay, so right now we're just pumping up the tire, and we're just making sure that the tire is seated and even around the rim. And I use a little bit of lubrication just to kind of help the tire to seat, especially when it gets pumped up to a higher PSI. And then one thing to note is that the valve stem, you want to make sure that its position is very close to the motor. And I had happened to have the valve angled out, and it was causing a knocking noise. So it's just a matter of just readjusting and repumping up and making sure that the valve stem is not going to cause an issue. Pump it up. Okay, let's try putting that together. So So if I was to do this again, it would be a little bit faster because I know what I'm doing now. Pretty straightforward. It's a pretty straightforward process. Just getting off the tire is pretty hard because it's smaller and it's a lot more, a stronger husk on the stock tire. So taking it off is a little bit harder, and putting on a new one is hard as well. So, other than that, pretty well built wheel. Pretty impressed by the build quality of it. Pretty much all done. So, thank you all for watching.
Shinko 241 on this wheel. It feels like it's meant to be.